What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by two things. Since we don't do any sponsorships here on the channel, I'll shill them out real quick. The first is my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and the second is a new podcast I just launched called Chasing Infinity. It is myself and ChatGPT as my AI co-host, and we dive into a wide range of topics in short-form videos just like these, so check it out. Links in the description below, and I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, let's do another answering your Splinterlands comments and questions video. Since I took the weekend off, I'm trying to do a couple of these in a row so that we can knock out a bunch of your comments as we go. So, exciting times, obviously, in Bitcoin. For anybody that's watching this, I don't know, at some point in the future and wanting a reference, Bitcoin just literally went from 80,000 to 89,000 today on November 11th. 11/11, happy Singles Day. And happy Veterans Day for all the folks. Thank you for your service. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. Enough with the intros. Let's do it. So first one here is from Nicola. Says, I am sorry for the dudes that are buying right now. Now, this is on the live stream from earlier today, 84K. That's how outdated this live stream was. It was this morning. Bitcoin was at 84,000 and now we're at 88, 89. So you know what's interesting about this, Nicola? I actually agree with you. Now, I made a mandate for myself and it's funny, for my parents, right? Because I orange pilled them and I told them, buy as much as you can. Buy literally as much as you can until September 30th. After September 30th, don't do it. Not worth it. Just enjoy the ride from there over the next 12 months, and then you can take your profits and do whatever. So it's kind of interesting that I agree with you. I'm not sure what you're referencing, if it's Bitcoin, if it's Splinterlands, or if it's like the auction promo, but I'm of the same mindset as you. If you're talking about Bitcoin, if you're talking about crypto, I tried to make all my bets in October. Now, does that mean I'm not going to buy anything over the next couple of months if there's a dip or something? No, of course. I mean, I'm going to play the markets as well as I can, and obviously I'm buying Bitcoin all the time. But it's interesting that I kind of agree with you here. Now, if you're referencing the auction promo or anything within the game referring to cards, I would say unless people are speculating, I don't think there's a problem buying, right? New players coming in wanting to buy cards and all that, or even buying SPS. That's a utility for wanting to play and participate in the ecosystem, right? It's a requirement, and as long as people are doing it because they want to play or are inclined to try out the game, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I will say, for anybody that's looking to buy SPS to speculate, you are playing with fire, right? And that's not an SPS only thing. I mean, that's like literally crypto and anything that's going on with this potential bull run. So we don't, understand your risks, do your own research, all that jazz. But I agree with you in spirit, Nicola. All right, DJ says, you say SPS, or you say 25 cents is a lot for SPS high this cycle. I think you all underestimate the FOMO and euphoria that happens during bull cycles. The game is in a much better place than 2021, and when it hits a market cap in the hundreds of millions. Have some faith, Aftersound. All right, so as I've said, right, I have a bear case, I have a base case, and I have a bull case. Obviously, my bull case is significantly higher. Let me put it this way. We were talking about 25 cent SPS, which with 1.6 billion SPS tokens in circulation, or almost, right? We'll be there at some point next year. 1.6 billion, that puts us at a $400 million market cap, which as of today is higher than many of the other games that I would consider our peers, right? I think we were looking at Parallel or Prime, which is at like 300 million. There were a couple of others that were like 200 million, right? So I don't want to get ahead of our skis here. That being said, we did see games like Gala and Axie Infinity and all these other, top tier projects in the last cycle get into the billions when it came to market caps, the multi-billions, right? 4 billion, 5 billion, whatever it was. So could SPS hit $1 per se and have a market cap of 1.6 billion? It absolutely can, right? I'm not going to rule it out, and that would be a hell of a bullish case where we would cross, our market cap all-time high by multiples, and then of course hit a new all-time high from a token perspective. But I do have faith. I'm just playing it conservatively, and I don't want to. The last thing I want is for somebody to like clip this video where I'm like, oh yeah, SPS is going to whatever. I have no idea what SPS is going to, right? 25 cents sounds good. But I don't know. I'm just some random dude on the internet. Don't take any financial advice from me because this is not financial advice. But to your point, once greed sets in, once irrationality sets in, which could happen, I believe, like especially after the new administration comes in January and maybe starts implementing certain things. We start buying Bitcoin and putting it on our strategic national reserve. Like all this stuff everything could get thrown out the window, and it could be wild times, which is exciting. All right, so Essen says 84K. That's several hours ago. And what's funny is they wrote this 3 hours ago, so you can see exactly how the market has been today. Snowball says, great content as always. Why'd your face stop moving for half the video, though? It's an impressive skill. Oh, damn, maybe I froze. I don't know. It's an old laptop. Sometimes the video thing freezes up. Let's see if the video thing is working right now. It is. There we go. All right, so International Travel Channel, thank you for the comments. Firebolt says, I haven't been easy I'm assuming it hasn't been easy in the world of Splinterlands. With that being said, I'm ready to do it all over again. All in on Conclave Arcana. Let's go. All right, you got somebody who's starting to save up. All right, Leandro to today's live stream says, at 56.30, my problem is exactly the one you talk about here. I would love to buy BTC. However, I don't have free capital right now. I don't remember what the problem was, but my hope is Hive, SPS, or Prime increase, and then I can think of things to do. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm always buying Bitcoin, like whenever I can, right? It's just the ultimate DCA. So even within stuff like this, right? Hive, SPS, or Prime, I'm usually taking earnings from that and eventually either converting it to Ice Cream, which Ice Cream is a code for, either fiat or Bitcoin. I know we talk about actual ice cream, but I can't remember the last time I bought actual ice cream. But we're still going to call it ice cream. Speaking of food, salt and pretzels from the National Travel Channel. Thank you. We got pandas as well. Love it. You guys are awesome. Appreciate the comments. All right, so Ghosty BG says the SK thing, meaning Soul Keep, was not within the terms of service for sure. That dude got there all alone via an exploit that got fixed after that, and nobody could catch up with him anytime soon with the exploit gone. How's that fair and an L to play issue? What is an L2P? L2P. Okay, well, fair. Like I said, I was uneducated on it, so thank you, Ghosty BG. I mean, if that's the case, then they should be implementing the reset as soon as possible, which they said that they were going to do. Now, we'll just have to see if they honor their word. Snowball says, what you say is true, but after watching the down haul, I'm happy to keep the SPS payouts. Season reset should make it fair again. Ghost BG says, no floor or ceilings. Let's go out and touch grass. Oh, this is from 2 minutes ago, the video that I just put out. All right, awesome. All right, Solving Chaos says, I think a bigger problem is the mispricing of the market value. In the stock market, we have something to give you the best price, even if I use a limit order. If a card rental has moved from 5 DEC to 7 DEC, but other have rental set at 5 DEC and it was rented and comes back on the market, I believe the way it works today is to relist it at 5 DEC. In the stock market, it would actually look for 7 DEC or 6 DEC trade. Solving Chaos, I'm not sure. I'm not that savvy in terms of what you're discussing when it comes to the traditional market or the stock market. But I'm trying to understand the first part here. I think a bigger problem is the mispricing of the market value. In the stock market, we have something to give you the best price, even if I use a limit order. Well, okay. I think a bigger problem is the mispricing of the market value. I mean, at this point, the market value is like through the floor, right? I think if people could rent it for less than 0.001 or whatever it is, they probably would, right? And we're only maybe a couple of days away before we eat through all of the sitting active bids. But yeah, I mean, market value is always going to be determined. I would like to think, and I would like to keep Splinterlands as much of a free market in many ways as possible. I know that there need to be floors in certain aspects so that we're not going to like 15 decimal places. But at this point, like we already established a floor, right, for DEC rentals. When it came out, it was established that 0.001 was going to be the lowest that you could go. Now we've hit that. And people are upset about it, but they're trying to do it so that we like increase the floor artificially. And I'm just not a fan of that, right? Like, because the truth is that 0.001 is probably not even the market value. At some point, it's going to run out and people would probably be able to bid for less and that would still get scooped up, right? Somebody might be able to bid for like 0.0009 or something at a later point and it would go. So it still doesn't solve the root problem. And the root problem is we just need more demand, whether it's new players or new utility, direct utility for SPS. Okay, so Avox says, as long as Soulkeep isn't exceeding its allotted rewards, who cares how it's distributed? Sure, whatever exploits people use to reach the top is whatever. If it's still that much SPS going into the ecosystem to the hands of other people, it's irrelevant. In a big picture, I agree with you. Like I said, it feels as though the DAO is being a little too heavy-handed. For example, if the Splinterlands team screwed something up, would the DAO just say like, yeah, until you fix this, like we're just not going to give out rewards? Like people wouldn't vote for that, right? Because there's way more people in the ecosystem. But we're kind of bullying Soulkeep because, you know, very few people play the game, and the people who do play the game are probably not large SPS stakeholders. All the large SPS stakeholders don't really care about it, which is disappointing to me, right? Because that's short-sighted in my opinion, and that's fine. If they want to, you know, do whatever it is that they want to do, that's fine. But I just believe in the long-term success of the ecosystem and building collaborative partnerships. I've spoken about this to death, so I don't want to keep on going. I'll just leave it at that. So Supreme Victory Studio says, welcome to Pretoria, land of the exploits. Indeed. All right. So Fireball says, well. Okay. All right. So I don't know how to say it. Swedebell. I'm going to go with Swedebell. Hopefully that's all right. All right. There's a steady stream of new players coming in. My biggest metric I check on a weekly basis is how many people signed up and how many people purchased spell books. It seems to be going up again. I can feel something different in ranked play as well. So to your point, yes, there have been a little bit of a spike in spellbook purchases, which is great. Again, it's not a major amount, but I saw like 7 one day recently, 5 another day, which is more than 0 or 1, which is what I'm used to seeing. 9 days in a row, people are buying spellbooks. It's ticking up. That's fantastic. All right, iHorror is coming in. All right, let's see. Well, if you mean Splinterlands abused their player base and sold them 3 play-to-earn games that have all failed, pretty disgusting. GLX token has no bottom. Soul keeps 0 rewards. Considering a rug pull now and moon carts, the update broke. The update broke the game and it wasn't playable for 2 weeks. I don't know if it's working now. I haven't raced in 2 weeks. Also considered a rug pull now. They took the investment money, developed basic, and okay. So I know what you're getting at here, but I don't mean to dismiss this as water under the bridge, but we are in a different era of Splinterlands now, and we have been in that different era for over a year, right? Once Matt took over and separated out all of what you're probably thinking are rug pulls and bad decisions from the game itself, I think it's fair to to acknowledge what happened in the past, but it's also fair to say like, hey, let's try to evaluate what's happening from, September 2023 onwards and how the game can move forward in a better way. Now, if you want to talk about the other games, yeah, they're all a complete mess, and I have no idea what's going to happen. At this point, I've gotten most of the stuff from them there for free through airdrops, so it's not like I'm rushing to sell it. I'm hoping that, Aggie can FOMO some people in, and then I'll dump at the top of the market. But at this point, or actually, let me not say it so brazenly like that. I hope that there's actually a decent game. In the same way that I would love Splinterlands, I hope that there are decent games that pop up within those ecosystems. It's just as of now, with the bull market kind of knocking on the door here, about to kick it down, it's just not looking great. It's not looking great at all. So, I don't know where it's at, but I would say let's focus in on Splinterlands by itself. If you want to talk about the other games, we absolutely can. But if we're going to evaluate where Splinterlands is and the current trajectory that it's going on, again, I'm not trying to do revisionist history. There's a lot of bad history there, but there was a significant change in leadership and direction starting last fall. And it's, to me, I want to make sure that we're looking at that chunk of time as well to see that there is improvement going on. So GoCBG saying, go complain to Aggie about GLX and moon cards. Yeah, so I think everybody's saying the same thing here. All right, you guys got into it in the comments, so I'm gonna let you guys handle that. So Yvonne says 30 seconds beyond the shill, haha, and yes, seems cautiously exciting. Yep, I guess that's how long my intro is. All right, so it feels different because there are some green candles in the crypto markets. Indeed. Well, it's not just crypto markets though, Charles. It's also SPS. I mean, SPS is up, and we don't have the flywheel activated, so people are buying for whatever reason. Again, my thought and my guess is speculation, but once the flywheel gets activated and speculation comes in with retail FOMO, that's when things could be really exciting. All right, Chain in the Block says, I couldn't get past the tutorial for the game, talking about Soulkeep. Why would they make it that complicated if the intent is to earn and keep playing? Or maybe I'm just bad at this type of game. I don't even remember the tutorial at that point, but all I know is that the game, it wasn't necessarily complicated. I don't know. I just didn't. as somebody who like loves tower defense games, I just didn't love it. I don't know what it is. And that being said, I mean, I played it on stream recently and it was fun, but I don't know. I've gotten obsessed with other tower defense games in the past, and this one was just, I don't know, different. Bananas though says, it definitely took me a while to get the hang of it. In the first league, I kept getting destroyed on the 4th map, gateway levels. Then I finally figured it out. It wasn't so difficult. People in Discord are pretty willing to give advice to it. That's awesome. So DJ says, let the market. Okay. Wow. You guys are all really fast with the video I just posted. All right. So Matthias says, thanks for sharing such valuable information. Oh, okay. This looks like spam again, but hey, you know what? That means the channel's moving on up. Bull market is back, baby. All right. Well, congratulations to the winner on the auction promo. Keeg says, I think it's going to be more than 900K plus from what I've heard people saying. Yeah, well, we've seen that at least for the first 5 days, 6 days, actually, if you see my last video. It was my guildmate, stoked for him. Awesome. All right, Firebolt says, end of the day, I'm very grateful that we have whales who keep leaving Yabamat and this Splinterlands project. Me too. I mean, look, it's going to take somebody. It's going to take some money to keep pushing this forward. Now, here's the interesting thing that I want people to think about. And you know, we're going to close the video on this. Here's the interesting thing that I want people to think about. We had 2 options. The game is running. We have 3 options, right? Game is running low on funds. They had a low runway, and you had 3 options. The first of which is that it just goes under, which doesn't benefit everybody. All of your assets go to 0. Game over, literally. Option number 2 is that the team gets acquired by someone else, like a VC or equity firm, whatever it is. They come in, they probably get to dictate a little bit of the terms. Maybe they do have some connections and maybe they can pull some strings and things like that. But for the most part, you know, the vision that Yabamat has is now somewhat diluted because there's other people talking in his ear and potentially having power or control over the future of the direction of the game that he may or may not agree with. Option 3, which is where we're currently at, is he doesn't give up equity in the game, and you just have a lot of whales supporting the game by buying expensive assets. Now, that gives those whales maybe an advantage, especially in ranked play and holding, you know, a lot of these, high-level promo cards. But it keeps the vision and control fully in Matt's hands. And I think that's important to consider. I had been thinking about it for a while. I'd never really articulated it like this. I feel like this probably could have been its own video in many ways, but it's an important point, and I want to make sure that we end on there. So for everybody who made it to the end of the video, let me know what you think of that. Let me know what you think of anything else that was discussed here. But I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.